Welcome to Serenity Narratives. Since the dawn of time, an invisible war has raged. A battle not of flesh and blood, but of forces beyond human comprehension. Darkness versus light, truth against deception. And in the midst of this cosmic conflict, certain individuals have been set apart, marked, chosen for a divine purpose. But here's the shocking reality. Most of them never realize it. What if you were one of them? What if, since childhood, there were signs, undeniable moments pointing to a calling greater than anything this world could offer, but you either ignored them or failed to recognize what they truly meant? Society teaches us that success is measured by wealth, power, and social status, that if you don't have money, you have nothing. That luxury equals happiness. But what if everything you've been taught about success is a lie? What if true abundance isn't found in material things, but in the divine assignment you were created to fulfill? Look around. People chase after money, believing it will bring them peace, but they remain empty. They pursue luxury, convinced it will grant them security, yet they live in constant fear of losing it all. Meanwhile, those who are truly called by God, those who carry His mark, face struggles that seem almost unnatural, challenges that appear designed to break them before they even begin to understand their purpose. Have you ever felt different? Like you never quite fit into the mold the world expects of you? Have you experienced hardships that seem disproportionate, as if something or someone was trying to stop you before you even got started? That's no coincidence. Many of the most powerful figures in the Bible were set apart from birth. Moses was targeted for destruction before he could even speak. David was overlooked, dismissed as nothing more than a shepherd boy. Joseph had prophetic dreams, but was cast aside by his own family. And even Jesus was hunted by King Herod before he could utter his first words. Why? Because the enemy recognizes destiny before the chosen one does. And if your life has been filled with obstacles, rejection, and struggles from a young age, then I need you to listen carefully, because what you're about to discover could change everything. What if the signs of your true purpose have been there all along, hidden in plain sight since childhood? What if the things that made you different, those moments when you felt like an outsider, were never coincidences, but divine markers pointing you towards something far greater? From the moment you were born, God has been speaking, whispering your destiny into existence. But here's the unsettling truth. Most people miss the signs entirely. Society teaches you to conform, to suppress your instincts, to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. But those who are truly chosen, they never quite belong. They feel an unexplainable pull, an inner knowing that they were made for something more. Think about the greatest figures in the Bible. Their destinies were revealed early, but the world didn't understand them. Joseph had prophetic dreams as a child, visions of greatness, but instead of being celebrated, he was hated by his own brothers and sold into slavery. Samuel heard the voice of God calling him while he was still a boy, but at first he didn't recognize it. It took Eli the priest to show him the truth. David was just a shepherd boy, dismissed by his own family, yet he was anointed as king while no one saw his worth. And here's the craziest part. These weren't just random events. They were divine proof that God marks His chosen ones from childhood. But the world rejects what it does not understand. So now ask yourself, have you experienced this? Have you always felt different? Like you were meant for something bigger, even when no one else could see it? Because if so, you might not just be ordinary. You might be chosen. But here's the real question. Are you ready to recognize the signs before it's too late? Why do the chosen ones face unrelenting trials? What if I told you that your struggles weren't random, that the very battles you faced since childhood were never about you, but about your destiny? Here's a truth most people never realize. The enemy sees your potential before you do, and the moment you were marked for something greater, a war was declared against you. Think about it. Some of the most powerful figures in history were targeted before they even understood their purpose. Take Moses, for example. Before he could even walk, Pharaoh issued an order to slaughter every Hebrew male infant, all in a desperate attempt to stop a deliverer before he could rise. And Jesus? Before he could even speak, King Herod sent soldiers to execute every child under 2. Why? Because darkness always tries to eliminate the light before it shines. And this pattern repeats itself again and again. If you've ever felt like you faced more rejection, more loss, and more opposition than those around you, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because you're dangerous to the enemy's plans. The truth is, the greater the calling, the greater the resistance. Have you ever wondered why your life has been filled with obstacles, even when you've done nothing wrong? Why it seems like every time you take a step forward, something pulls you back? It's because those who are chosen are also tested. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think these trials mean they're failing. They don't realize that the struggle is proof of the calling, that their hardships are not there to destroy them, but to forge them into the person they were meant to be. Take a moment to reflect. Has your life been filled with unexplainable battles? Have you faced setbacks that seem too precise, too relentless to be coincidences? If so, then understand this. You were never meant for an ordinary life. And the trials you're facing? They're preparing you for something far greater. The only question is, will you endure the process, or will you give up before you step into your destiny? Often, those who are chosen possess something extraordinary, a divine gift. What if I told you that your greatest talent isn't random? That the very thing you're passionate about, the skill, the gift, the instinct you've always had, was placed within you for a purpose far beyond what you can imagine. Society teaches us to chase money, fame, and success, to use our talents to climb the social ladder, to build wealth, to make a name for ourselves. But here's the shocking truth. You weren't given your gift for personal gain. You were given it for a divine mission. Look at the greatest figures in biblical history. Samuel had the ability to hear God's voice when others could not, but that gift wasn't for his own benefit. It was to guide a nation. Solomon was offered anything he desired. He could have chosen wealth, power, or victory over his enemies, but he asked for wisdom. And because he aligned his gift with God's purpose, he became one of the greatest kings in history. Now ask yourself, how many people today waste their gifts? They use their talents to chase money, yet they still feel empty. They build careers, amass wealth, gain influence, but no amount of success fills the void inside them. Why? Because a gift, disconnected from its purpose, will never bring true fulfillment. And here's where it gets even more profound. Your gift was designed to glorify God. But if you don't use it for Him, the world will find a way to use it against you. Think about it. How many celebrities, billionaires, and so-called successful people have everything the world says should make them happy, yet they end up lost, broken, and searching for meaning? That's because wealth without purpose is an illusion. Success without calling is a trap. So now, here's the ultimate question. How are you using your gift? Are you aligning it with God's plan? Or are you letting the world dictate your purpose? Because one day, you will have to answer for how you used what you were given. Will your gift lead you to your divine destiny, or will it become just another wasted potential, lost in the pursuit of things that will never satisfy? The choice is yours. At some point, every chosen one faces a moment where they can no longer live like everyone else. They can no longer ignore the signs, suppress the calling, or pretend they were meant for an ordinary life. And here is the terrifying truth. You have a choice. You can walk away. You can continue living as if nothing has changed. Or you can step into the purpose you were born for. But make no mistake, this choice comes with a cost. Moses had everything, a life of wealth, luxury, and power in Pharaoh's palace. He could have stayed comfortable, but instead, he gave it all up to lead an oppressed nation to freedom. David was just a shepherd, with no status and no reputation. But when the moment came, when Goliath stood before him, he didn't hesitate. He stepped forward, and history was changed forever. So now, it's your turn. You weren't placed on this earth just to work, make money, and die. There's something far greater waiting for you if you have the courage to embrace it. You get to decide whether the gifts and challenges you've been given will propel you toward fulfilling your true purpose, or whether they will be wasted chasing a hollow vision of success dictated by the world. Remember, the cost of answering the call may be great, but the cost of walking away, that is far greater. There's a divine plan for your life, but you must decide if you will accept it. The world tells you that success is money, status, and luxury. But true success, it is knowing that when your life is over, you fulfilled the mission God created you for. So let me ask you, have you been running from your calling? Have you been ignoring the signs, convincing yourself that you're just normal? Because if you're here watching this, then let me assure you, this is not an accident. This is your moment. This is your wake-up call. Don't ignore it. What happens next is up to you. Hit subscribe right now, because this journey is only just beginning. Remember, you were never meant to live an ordinary life, but only you can decide if you will step into your purpose or if you will walk away. The question is, will you answer the call? Don't forget to like and subscribe.